Today is the day to paint 10 paintings. And in the process of painting these 10 paintings, a couple of things happened. First of all, I asked myself a lot of questions about what it means to be a painting. And also, I had to give myself permission to do a lot of things that I don't normally do with art and with paintings. First of all, I asked myself what it meant to be a painting because I couldn't ask the paintings. Well, I could have asked the paintings what it meant to be a painting, but they probably wouldn't have given a very satisfying answer since they can't talk. But even so, I think we often find that even when we do ask things that can talk, such as humans, what it means to be themselves, we don't get satisfying answers very often in those cases either. So I tried to figure out the answers to the questions myself while I was painting and editing this video just by scrunching my forehead together really hard and trying to will my neurons to fire a little harder, faster, stronger. And really all I came up with is that there needs to be paint on something. I think that's about it. I think one of the big problems I had when I thought about paintings in the past, and one of the discouraging things that I think was holding me back from doing more paintings and enjoying the process of making paintings for a long time, was that I had this big, huge hunk of a preconceived notion about what paintings had to be, because for so long we have this whole history of paintings, and for so long they've been these very nice polished things. Maybe because for so long paint was expensive and time was expensive, and those who had the luxury of paint and time made sure to go about it very seriously and to do great things, great portraits, right? I mean, through a long time, throughout the history of art, so many paintings were about very revered and serious religious subjects. And even besides that, they seemed very well done and well polished. And I thought, does it have to be that way? I guess not. I guess the flip side of those nice masterpieces, the polished things, you might think of, the masterworks of yore, the opposite of that might be the acrylic paint pours of our current day, when people they mix paint with something that makes the paint even more runny, and they pour it out on the canvas and it makes cool patterns. And I like that. Like, I'm not against that. I'm just not personally interested in doing that because I still want control over what happens, right? I still like the feeling of holding the paintbrush and slathering it across the board or the canvas or whatever. The paint pour thing is too hands-off for me to really enjoy the process, even though I like how the end result looks a lot of the time. I'd just as soon watch some sort of automatically generated screensaver of colors moving across my computer screen than do a paint pour. But painting itself was very satisfying in this situation when I was doing 10 paintings at once, because in the last time I did painting, I think I did 2 or 3 at once, 2 I believe, and I realized paintings don't need to take a long time at all. They can be done very quickly. I thought maybe next time I'll do 10. So here's 10. I actually probably did 13 of them, but 3 of them, here's where it comes in that I gave myself permission to do things like give up on some of them. 3 of them I didn't like how they were going. I tossed those to the side and got 3 more boards so that I would still have 10. And I gave myself permission to do things like just stop at any point, call it done. I gave myself permission to I'm pretty good at being bad with money, but I usually buy dumb stuff like weird knives or shoes I don't need or goofy sunglasses and wigs. But I thought, hey, why for once don't I invest in some nice paints, since I am supposedly an artist? So I bought nice heavy-body golden acrylics. I spent hundreds of dollars on paints and canvases and boards and stuff like that. And don't worry, I still have a lot left over that I can use for 10, 20, 30, 40 more paintings. But I had to let myself think that maybe the purpose of a painting is just to be paint on a board, right? What if that's all it is? And okay, you might be thinking, Peter, what if this is just you making up excuses for your paintings being kind of ugly, for looking like two different airborne shipments of highlighters had a midair collision and the debris landed all across your boards? Honestly, it might be a little bit of some sort of mental excuse for why my paintings don't look beautiful or good, but I think that's kind of the point, is that I'm trying to step back from thinking that there has to be some sort of beautiful or aesthetically pleasing quality to the paintings for them to be paintings. I mean, maybe that's kind of a nice byproduct. It would be pleasant to find that in the end, after it's all said and done, but it's not required for them to be a painting. And all I set out to do was make 10 paintings. Now, I'm just trying to simplify there. Maybe the beauty in a painting can just be a happy afterthought that you find there, in the same way that an oily puddle of water is always an oily puddle of water, whether or not you notice those beautiful multicolored swirls in it or not, or whether or not those swirls are even there that time. And even then, despite my best efforts, I kept going on a lot of these paintings when I shouldn't have. I noticed this when I was editing the videos several times, several places, in several paintings, when I thought, hey, I should have just stopped right there. It looked perfect. You were only 10 minutes into that painting, but you kept painting on that painting for like 40 or 50 more minutes. Why didn't you stop only 10 minutes in? It looked so beautiful right then. But still, I didn't ruin the painting because it remained a painting. But maybe if I do it again, I'll have learned my lesson and I'll spend even less time on each painting. And if I'm smart, I'll use even less colors, because I was getting a little bit out of control with how many colors I was using. Fewer colors would probably be good, just because there is some sort of creativity found in constraint. Not that these are any less a painting. Even now you can find me abandoning this weird little existential philosophy about paintings, that they are just paintings in themselves and for themselves. But I don't blame myself for wanting them to look nicer either. I'm allowed to hold two viewpoints at once. In the future, yes, fewer colors, less time, and just gotta keep doing it. If I want to, anyways. That's what I like about art. It's optional. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. I was gonna make like a little outro track for this, but then I started making like 3 different songs, and all 3 of them just kind of fell apart and they didn't come together, is more accurate. So here's a little outro track.